Hello, welcome to this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host. Just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona, and hopefully today with our bets and your bets, it's going to be another profitable day for you. NFL Week 4, this Sunday and Monday games we're going to go through on this episode. Hopefully everybody's having a fantastic day. So if you're new to our show, every episode on YouTube brought to you by the world's #1 sports betting app, Outlier. Not only can you get great bet ideas, great what's going on trend-wise, you can also get what's had fantastic hit rates in all kinds of different sports. Find out where the money's pouring in on the books and get the best odds for the bets that you love at multiple different books and make them from one spot. That's going to be Outlier. 7-day free trial you can find in the comment section of this show or also in our YouTube channel page. Also, private Discord channel available in the comment section and YouTube channel page as well. If you want to join well over 200 members that like to get all of our action free and get bonus material and hang out with a bunch of people in the community as well that are into the same thing you are, sports wagering, make sure you check out the Discord link. You'll find that in the comment section and YouTube channel page as well. Let's get started with NFL. We've got Iron in the game to start us off. Nothing like waking up super duper early out here in Phoenix to watch that first game. So let's get started. It's Minnesota and the Steelers. Steelers currently getting 2.5, 41.5 total. I'm going to say this about the Vikings here in this particular spot. If they don't blitz almost every down, I don't know what to tell you. Send 5, send 6, make Rodgers throw the ball even sooner than he wants to. He looks deathly afraid to get hit. You do not have to worry about Pittsburgh running the ball. They can't do it. This is a Flores special in this particular game. They should get to Rodgers early and often. This is for an NFL game. This is hammer time for us in the early morning set. Vikings -0.5 first quarter, 0.5 first half, 2.5 for the game. We also played Rodgers to throw a pick. Jordan Mason over 81.5 rush yards. Jalen Warren under 57.5 rush yards. Justin Jefferson 70-plus receiving yards. Steelers under 19.5 team total. I will say this. If Gainwell props come up, we're guarantee we're playing the under in those as well. Unfortunately, by the time we're recording this, there was no Gainwell rushing props out yet. But that is under on Gainwell as well because he has not done anywhere near what his lines have been so far. Next game up, we get into the 1 o'clock Eastern time frame window. Chargers-Giants to start us off. Jackson Dart, welcome to the NFL, young man. You're a 6.5 point dog at home, 43.5 total. So let me put it this way. If it was Russell Wilson starting, we would have played the Chargers. I don't know if Jackson Dart's going to do much better than Russell Wilson could, but I think he's more elusive getting out of the sacks. For sure. Now, the other thing is that Giants defensive line is pretty damn good. Unfortunately, the back end of that defense does leave a little bit to be desired, but that front line with Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, and Sexy Dexy and all those dudes, that is a real offensive line. Like, if they can stay healthy, they should figure something out on how to apply a bunch of pressure to the quarterback without having to send any blitz with just those three guys. But I really like it. And that's not even you throw Kayvon Thibodeau in the mix, all of a sudden you got 4 guys, right? Like, it's pretty crazy. Put a NASCAR package, so to speak, in there. Giants have, when they've won their Super Bowls, they've had dominant defensive lines. I guess trying to go back to that philosophy there. No side for us, but we do like the total in this one, and we like it under. So Steelers-Giants under, or not Steelers-Giants, Chargers-Giants under 7.5 the first quarter, 22.5 the first half, 43.5 for the game. The youngster to throw a pick, he was minus $1.60 for Mr. Dart. We'll take that there. Mr. Hampton, 66-plus rush yards. Scattaboo, 55-plus rush yards. I think they're going to give him a lot of opportunities. Quentin Johnson, 22-plus yards, longest reception. Not a boatload of player props for him. This has been a few. Like I said, I think this game's probably a little bit closer than what we anticipate. Definitely thinking about Chargers. We've thought long and hard about who are we taking for the Circa pick this week. There's one pretty easy one, I think, kind of to play, and then the other ones. Like, we wanted to take the Vikings because I don't know how many times we're going to love them all season long. Okay, we stayed away from them, even though one of my favorite plays on the board with the point spreads anyway. But thought about the Chargers here in this spot as well, but didn't take them. Like I said, I like them to win. I just don't know about the total covering that. I do think this game's low scoring. I think this game is – yeah, like I said, low scoring under the total there. So maybe the Giants keep it close enough if you're hoping for the Giants. Next game up, and this is our Circa Survivor pick of the week. We couldn't get away from it. 1 o'clock Eastern time frame. Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. This is not. We'll go to the other game first. Browns, Lions, 1 o'clock Eastern time frame as well. This game's been around 9.5, 10, 10.5, depending on what book. The total's been really consistent here at 44.5. I will say this. When the Lions are home, it's an automatic over for us. I don't really have to think about that one too much. This line here at 44.5 seems crazy. And I understand Cleveland's defense at home is spectacular. But for multiple seasons, it's been really good at home. But on the road, they tend to give up points. This is a monster hammer for us on this one, on the over as well. I don't know how you get away from it, to be really honest. Browns, Lions over 7.5 first quarter, 22.5 first half, 44.5 for the game. Flacco to throw a pick. Jameson Williams, we always love him at home. 42.5 receiving yards is it? Oh, no. At home, he always catches more balls. Way over that one for Jameson, we think. Gibbs, 64-plus rushing yards. Judkins, anytime touchdown was plus 160. I think if they get inside the 5, they're going to run him 4 times. Judkins, 58-plus rushing yards in that one. Now we'll get to the next game, 1 o'clock Eastern time frame. Now we're going to get to our Circa Survivor pick of the week. Like I said, it's the biggest spread on the board. I don't know if I didn't really want to burn Buffalo in week 4 here, but we got to worry about getting to week 5, right? So we'll figure out the rest later. Bills favored by 14.5 at some books, 15.5. I've seen 16.5 this week. Saints are god-awful. We're well aware of it. Buffalo at home. Total in this one's 48.5. I don't think Buffalo's going to have a hard time winning here. The question is can they cover 14.5? We stayed away from it, but if you want to play Buffalo in this spot, I don't blame you. I don't think there's any way to play the Saints, but, for Saints fans, maybe. All right, let's go through the plays in this one, just player props. James Cook, 2+ touchdowns. Spencer Rattler, 210+ passing yards. Spencer Rattler to throw a pick. We go back to Juwan Johnson again because he's cashed the first 3 weeks in a row. 17+ yards, longest reception. 43+ receiving yards. And Chris Olave, if they're going to use him like last week, this 6 receptions is about the easiest pick on the board. He saw like 12 targets. Nothing went for more than 5 yards. But, hey, he got 10 catches for, 50 yards? That was a great fantasy day for us, sliding him into the flex spot as we were running into some issues health-wise. So, maybe we see Olave one more time, get a bunch of catches. So 6+ catches seems like a bargain if they're going to continue to use him like that. Juwan Johnson seems to be down the field. Spencer Rattler seems to hit that seam pass pretty well as well. So next game up, let's get to it, shall we? 1 o'clock Eastern time as well. Eagles, Bucks. So sounds like Mike Evans is out. Godwin might play. Everybody's dealing with injuries already, and it's week 4, 1 o'clock Eastern time frame. This is a unique start time for the Bucks as well at home. Normally they're a late start because of rain issues. Saquon really hasn't ran for what he did last year, but didn't expect him to. Tampa Bay's got a really good run defense, except normally quarterbacks on that one there. And Tampa Bay, to be really honest, has not played well so far. Now they're 3-0. But they have had to do some wild comebacks in order to win some games here. Baker's been good clutch-wise. They haven't been really proficient in the pass game. Hugely, like Baker putting up, 275 plus. That one. Ibuka's been a nice start. Bucky Irving really hasn't got going yet. But all that being said, I think being at home is the difference here. Let's give you all the bets in this Bucks-Eagles. Bucks plus a half first quarter, 2 first half, 3.5 for the game. Saquon under 81.5 rush yards. He just hasn't got it going yet. He did have he had a good game against the Bucks last year, but it was all basically off of one big run. Baker, 222 plus passing yards. I think they're going to have to throw it. Hurts, anytime touchdowns, the least amount of juice I've seen on him so far. Just a tush-push away. Hurts only 190 plus passing yards. Ibuka, because I think Godwin's on a pitch count, and Evans is out 60 plus receiving yards. Baker to throw a pick because he does most weeks anyway, right? Kind of what we're thinking in that Bucks-Eagles there. I think Eagles have a chance to win, but it's another one they win, but they win by a field goal. And the hook comes into play. Next game up, Falcons, Commanders. This line has shot up a little bit as it sounds like Jaden Daniels isn't going to play here. What can we say about the Falcons? And if I hear Michael Penix is a bust, I don't see that yet. What I do see, unfortunately, is Raheem Morris is not ready to be a head coach. Offensive coordinator's not there. They have some weird offensive plays and play calls. First of all, if you have the best back in the game, and they might right now in Bijan, Saquon obviously had the monster year last year, but Bijan is so elusive. And they're still running Algiers a bunch. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish there. It doesn't make much sense. Kyle Pitts, can we please just get rid of him? At this point, he's useless in your offense. He doesn't block. He doesn't catch balls. Darnell Mooney, didn't have his best couple games compared to last season. I think Penix will be fine. I think you got Bijan. You got to take advantage of that. If London plays or doesn't play or does play, who the hell knows what he's going to do on a daily basis. If not, just feed Bijan the ball in the receiving game. I guess, keep Algiers in there to run and put Bijan in the slot at this point. I mean, they've got to figure something out. That offense is more talented than what they've let on here with Atlanta in this one here. So Atlanta laying the 2.5, 43.5 total. We made this one pretty simple here. Falcons money line first quarter and first half. Bijan 81 plus rush yards. Bijan 110 rushing and receiving combined, and Bijan 25 plus receiving yards. Why put a prop on anybody else but Bijan, right? They expect Penix probably have a pretty decent game here, I would think, as well against the Commanders. The Commanders' defense is not spectacular. They'll keep everything in front of them, but they're not like Giants, right? I mean, they're not great any part defensively. So should be have an okay game there, I would think, for Penix. Expect Bijan. If he doesn't get it in the rush yards, I'm sure he'll get it in the receiving yards. I still can't believe they've got his receiving yards at 25. I mean, that seems a little light. Think excellent opportunity if you're looking for just one play in that game. Bijan 25 plus receiving yards would probably be it. Next game up, Titans, Texans. Titans on the road, 7.5 has been the line all week with the Texans. 0-3, both teams here. 39.5 total, and I think that's probably too high. The Texans can't score. They can't put the ball in the end zone. Stroud has less than 2 seconds to get rid of the ball. That offensive line is god-awful. Now, on the other side, the Titans can't catch the ball consistently at all for Cam Ward. Some of it's Cam's fault. You can't throw 100-mile-an-hour fastballs at wide receivers all day, but when you're getting rushed as hard as he is, I do understand it. You want to let it go, and the windows are a lot tighter than what he saw down in Miami. So, the first instinct is throw it harder, right? Understand that. Cam's going to be fine, and I think this Titans team will figure some things out as we get later into the season. But Tony Pollard needs to do a better job of running the ball. He was non-existent in the first half last week, and the second half came along. And then all of a sudden the game got out of control. They were, right there, 1-2 scores down, and then all of a sudden we're 3 or 4 down, and the game got out of control against the Colts. It's fine. I think they keep it close here, though, in this one. I really do. Titans plus a half first quarter, 4.5 first half, 7.5 for the game. Because the Texans are a defense and no offense. Stroud under 224.5 passing yards. Why the line is so high in this game, I have no clue. He hasn't gotten close to this. Kirk didn't hit the 39 yards last week in his return. And now they bumped into 40.5 under there as well. Stroud under 1.5 passing touchdowns because he hasn't had 2 yet in that one as well. All right, next game up, still in the 1 o'clock window if you're not having any fun at home, right? Let's see here. We got Panthers, Patriots, last game of that 1 o'clock Eastern time frame window. Patriots favored by 5.5. Panthers last week shocked the world with that 30-0 win at home against the Falcons. They looked solid. Defense looked great. I don't expect the defense to look that way again. It helps when you're getting special teams and defensive touchdowns, right, to make that score just a little bit better. Bryce Young played pretty well. No complaints there. They didn't have to throw it as much as they've had to the first couple of weeks because they weren't 20 points behind. That always helps your cause a little bit. Patriots, on the other hand, Drake May looks good. The interception in the end zone was a mistake by the youngster. And, of course, all the fumbles cost them the game against the Steelers. You know, like, they've got to figure out how to put more points on the board than what they've done so far, but that's not all Drake May's fault. I mean, he's still booting his, Booty he's throwing to, Hunter Henry, Stephon Diggs is god-awful. Who didn't see that coming? I mean, come on. He hasn't been good since his second to last year in Buffalo. People keep signing him, though, to go out there and get 5 balls for 30 yards. Who cares? He's not going to do anything for this offense. Stevenson needs to hold on to the damn ball. Henderson probably needs to be a little bit more involved in the pass game. Some screens wouldn't hurt Josh McDaniels. You might draw a couple up since you're so excited about this young rookie at running back. Typically, he hasn't stayed healthy when he was at Ohio State for 4 years. You might want to use him as much as possible until he gets hurt. Let's give you all the plays in this game. We really do like the Patriots one more time here. A half first quarter, -1.5 first half, 5.5 for the game. The 1.5 was kind of shocking, actually. On that one there. Drake made 210-plus passing yards. Are you freaking kidding me? Now, he was at a lot of different books. He was already at 218 and above, so make sure you scout out for him. May, also for 25-plus rush yards. Booty's receiving lines finally came down to 27-plus receiving yards. And, of course, Bryce Young to throw a pick, right? Of course. All right, let's get to those 4 o'clock window Eastern time frame. Rams, Colts. Rams favored by 3.5 at home against the Red Hot Colts, 49.5. Total in this one, wouldn't be shocked if this thing goes over. But the one thing I do like here, the Rams absolutely gave the game away multiple times against Philly, a game they should have won. I think that's going to leave a really shitty taste in their mouth in this one here. The Colts coming in on the road, let's be honest. I understand they're 3-0. They realistically should be 2-1. That Denver game, stupid special teams error, getting leverage cost Denver a win and gave the Colts to make them look like 3-0 instead of 2-1. And then we wouldn't have to hear about Indiana Jones frickin' all the time. Rams for us in this one, -0.5 first quarter, 1.5 first half, 3.5 for the game. Kyren Williams touchdown. Make sure you shop that around. There was a lot of places a lot higher than what we got it. Indiana Jones, 216-plus passing yards because I think they're going to have to throw it quite a bit. Puka, 88-plus receiving yards. Pittman, 54-plus receiving yards. Kyren Williams, 71-plus rush yards. Tutu Atwell, under 14.5 receiving yards and under 1.5 receptions. He has not seen the ball at all. Daniel Jones, 30-plus pass attempts. Pittman, 20-plus yards, longest reception. The next game up. Another 4 o'clock window game, right? And, of course, as usual, during the middle of the show, DraftKings decides to reload. I do not understand why these books just don't want it to stay up. Like, what are they doing? Like, when I hit the button, if it's new odds, I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. Jags, 49ers, 4:05 Eastern time frame. Jags heading out to Santa Clara. Brock Purdy's supposed to play. We don't know about Juwan Jennings or Ricky Pearsall. Greg Kittle's definitely out. It's been a mess for San Francisco already in the first few weeks, but do we expect any different with this team? This is like the all-injured team, it seems like, all the time. McCaffrey hasn't had a monster game on the ground yet. I don't expect it to be here. The Jags defense can play in this one here. The big difference is Trevor Lawrence going to throw a pick? Are they going to turn the ball over a bunch of times? If they stay clean, this team's actually pretty decent. A couple good pass rushers back in this defense isn't as bad as it's been in years past. And Brock Purdy struggled mightily in a win against a lot worse defense. He threw it into triple coverage. Then he got hurt with the toe. Mac Jones looked great. His last game, he got banged up. So it's a mess right now, injury-wise, for San Francisco. And we've seen Brock in the past. When he doesn't have guys healthy, it's a struggle. Like the Jags quite a bit here, getting the points, especially with the hook. Plus a half first quarter, 2.5 first half, 3.5 for the game. ETN 53 plus rush yards. BTJ will continue to go under on him until he decides that, or they decide they're going to get him the ball. Under 5.5 receptions, 59.5 receiving yards. Purdy to throw a pick. McCaffrey under 74.5 rush yards. He hasn't hit that number yet. Jags over 20.5 team total. All right, next game up. Ravens, Chiefs at the 425 spot in Kansas City. Chiefs are getting 2.5 at home. I don't remember the last time I saw the Chiefs a dog at home. Don't happen often. Both teams 1-2. Loser goes to 1-3. That's been the talk all week. Nobody's brought up the fact the game could tie and they could both be 1-2-1. But I digress. Now Xavier Worthy's supposed to be back. Rice not still back. Chiefs have had extreme problems running the ball, except for Patrick Mahomes. And Baltimore has figured out a way to shoot themselves in the foot in game 1 against Buffalo. Game 2, they come out and they beat a poor Cleveland team on the road. And they absolutely just got destroyed on Monday Night Football by the Lions. How do you give up 300 yards rushing? Ask the Ravens. That was ugly. They couldn't stop anybody. It was gross. All right, so this game here, what do we think? Well, I think this game's going to be tight, pretty much. Going to see some back and forth. I expect Lamar to make some plays. Expect Mahomes to make some plays. Question is going to be who makes more plays. Defense for the Chiefs is much better than what the Ravens have. Give us the Chiefs and the points at home in this spot. You can't turn down Chiefs. And we did take an alternate line to 3 in this one, but Chiefs plus a half first quarter, 2.5 first half, 3 for the game. Mahomes 37 plus pass attempts. Why not? 236 plus passing yards. Worthy 44 plus receiving yards. I think he's going to see action often and early as they need him desperately. Zay Flowers 62 plus receiving yards. Mahomes 27 plus rushing yards. Next game up. Why not? Let's have another 425 game. Why didn't they make this one earlier? I don't know, but whatever. Bears, Raiders in Vegas. Right now, Vegas 1.5 point favorite. How are the Raiders favored against anybody? Oh, because it's the Bears. All right. Didn't the Bears just win against Dallas? Right. I was at home. This is on the road. Yada, yada, yada. And by the last time the Bears played on the road, they did get beat by 30. So in this one here, I don't like a side or the total in this thing. This game could go 17,000 different ways. The Bears could come out and light it up again. The Raiders could actually figure something out because the Bears defense isn't that good. The Raiders defense, I normally would have said good, but if you watched last week's game, you'd think they're horrible. Just some player props for us in this particular one. And guess which one hit the board first? If you've watched our show, Geno Smith to throw a pick. There you go. Oh, by the way, if you watched our show before, Genty under 69.5 rush yards. Genty under 87.5 rushing and receiving yards. Genty under 13.5 receiving yards. Sound familiar? Yeah, we've played all 4 of those in the first 3 weeks. And we've only missed one. That was the 1 week of Geno pick. Otherwise, everything's came under on Genty all 3. Tucker for the Raiders over 42.5 receiving yards. Odunze over 62.5 receiving yards. Sunday Night Football, Packers, Cowboys in Dallas. No CD Lamb. No defense for the Cowboys. Great defense for the Packers. They were lackluster, though, in Cleveland, letting down a lot of the circle pool that had the Packers to beat those lowly Browns, but they couldn't pull it off. Okay, I understand. It's a road game. They normally, they played well against Dallas. And I think that, a lot of people are running to the window here for Green Bay because they just go back to that Jordan Love playoff game where they beat them by like 700. Now, I will say this. I expect the Packers to win here. That's a big number to cover on the road. Dallas isn't that great, especially without CD. I hope Prescott lets the ball go a little bit instead of just waiting for everything. Like, you're just going to have to throw it to Pickens and hope he gets the contested catch. You're going to have to take some chances to win this ball game. You're going to be 1-3. Otherwise, you might as well lay it out there in this one here. I don't necessarily love a side or total, so we're just going player prop here. And we do like us some Tucker Kraft, so we'll start off there. Tucker over 42.5 receiving yards. Tucker anytime touchdown was over, plus 220 on DraftKings? Let's see. Odunze, I put those out of order. Odunze was supposed to go in the game above on that one. Jacobs, 71 plus rush yards. Kraft, 43 plus receiving yards. I guess we're going to play that twice. My apologies. Tucker Kraft, anytime touchdown. Tucker Kraft, 43 plus receiving yards. Jacobs, plus 71 plus rush yards. Ferguson, who saw a boatload of action as soon as CD went out, 53% plus receiving yards. Jacobs, 14 plus yards, longest rush. And that one there. Then we're going to get to the Monday night games. And the NFL did us all a favor by scheduling 2 Monday night games, which is always pretty good, except the first one's an absolute joke. Jets and Dolphins, are we serious right now? 2 0-3 teams. Nobody cares who wins. Nobody cares who plays. Nobody cares unless you got anything dollar-wise on the game. No way on God's green earth I would play either one of these teams, so player props it is. Here we go. Tua to throw a pick. What a shocker that one is. A-Chance, 6+ receptions. This guy might get more catches for the lowest yards per reception I've ever seen in my life. Last week, I think he ended with, 10 for 30. Breece Hall, 57 plus receiving yards. Garrett Wilson, 6+ catches, 60 plus yards receiving. Justin Fields supposed to be back in the lineup, 43 plus rush yards. More than likely, as bad as the Dolphins been, don't be surprised if the Jets come out and win this game outright. And we'll finish up the night in Denver. The worst executing team in the fourth quarter I've seen so far this season. They're laying 7.5 to the Bengals. Do we think a little overreaction to the fact that they had 19,000 turnovers for the Bengals against the Vikings? Broncos defense is real good, though. I will give him that. That defense looks spectacular. Bo Nix has been well below par, worse than he was last season. It's not unusual to see a little regression as all these defensive coordinators now have tape on you. And you still don't really have a running game. It's going to happen. It happens a lot. Jake Brown, I don't expect him to play that bad ever again. Jamar Chase, I don't expect him to fumble very often. Browning had 2 picks, and they had, 4 fumbles or 3 fumbles? It was god-awful. The game got out of hand. Next thing you know, they're all sitting. This one here, we'd like us some Bengals on the road. I don't know if they win the game, but I do love that 7 and a hook on that one there. Bengals plus 1.5 first quarter, 4.5 first half, 7.5 for the game. Jamar Chase, 64 plus receiving yards. He is by far and away Browning's favorite target. Jamar Chase, anytime touchdown. Browning for 215 plus pass yards and 33 plus of pass attempts. And Browning might throw you 3 touchdowns, but he's going to give you a pick. So we'll go Browning interception as well. That's a rundown of NFL Week 4, Sunday and Monday. We had a really good Thursday, so hopefully that continues over for NFL on Sunday and Monday. Like I said, on Monday, just forget there's an early game. Don't put yourself through that Jets-Dolphins madness. It's just god-awful and ugly. Anyway, all of our shows brought to you by the world's #1 sports betting outlier. 7-day free trial. Going to find it in the comments section, also in the YouTube channel page. And then private Discord channel available for all of you out there. If you want to join a couple 100+ members who love the same thing you do, and that's called sports wagering, feel free to hop on there. Yes, it does cost money. You'll see it when you go to the checkout link. We don't do the free 90,000 people in Discord. It does not make any sense. You don't learn nothing. And we have a lot more than just money lines, right? Bunch of player props. And why would you play money line? How do you play money lines in college football when these spreads, some of these are 2 touchdowns? Like, you can play minus 900s all day? All right, I'll pass. Anyway, enough about that. But if you want all the bets that we put out early, if you want to get ahead of line moves and juice moves, college football, we have been smoking hot on. You want that. Formula One, we don't put out for the public. If you want to know the unit sizes that we're putting out there, so which games to play more on than others, no problem at all. Join the Discord. Just it's in the comment section of this episode and also YouTube channel page. We do appreciate everybody's support as always, and we look forward to seeing you on our next episode.